Hey guys, finally getting out and doing some different stuff with a Blazer, comparing numbers between the handheld and the dash. I know the numbers on the dash are just like they're not absolutely accurate, but they do the dash on my Blazer and the oil pressure shows 65 at idle, but this is taken off the front of the motor closest to the oil pump, and I have the Kobo Camaro spring in my oil pump, or the heavier duty spring, excuse me. So there's a difference here between the front of the motor and the back of the motor. The back of the motor tells me that what the oil is doing and how much the oil has to try and get through all this stuff in the motor to, ultimately you lose the pressure across the whole plane. So here's what the dash says. That's 62.5, and it is warm. You can see that. And then I go to the handheld, and look at that. Look at the difference. All of the oil pressure loss across all of the moving parts. That's amazing. I haven't really paid attention to this gauge on a hot day, but when it was hot on this one, it went up to like 210. So I don't really know what. And the oil pressure on this, when it was hot, would go down to like just over 40 in a hold. So that's very concerning for me, because there might be some unchecked issues in the motor that would cause this much loss, or I'm just overthinking it, which I've been known to do. Anyhow, and then crossed here, transmission temperature usually gets up to, when I'm driving, just past or just under 180 so far. I know that temperature might come down when the converter's locked up consistently, but whatever the case. And then also I don't have a working tack in my Blazer yet. I gotta figure that out. But I go back over here, tap on the display, and then press. Let's see, I press on that one. That just, all this stuff is still rough. It still has no fine tune. When I went to the dyno shop, the Bel-Air dyno here in Oregon City, I didn't ask him or didn't give him the response that he needed to actually do more tuning. He asked me, is your you have it set where you want it? I'm like, well, yeah. I didn't say it's on a wizard tune, I just said yes. So he just went in, he loaded it on dyno, and then I don't know how many pulls he made, but he didn't make any adjustments. So the 398 wheel horsepower that he measured on his dyno, how he does it, I find kind of short on power, but then again, a lot of stuff to figure out. So yeah, it's warm. The fan's on. Let's see if the fan's turned on yet. Idles, nope. But yeah, see, I've got to adjust my idle down a little bit to get this down more, because this is as hot as it usually gets. I could raise my idle. Actually, it's more, when I raise the idle, the chopping you're hearing now, it's not as bad, of course, as you increase the RPM, but idle-wise, sitting at a stoplight, I think I'm going to maintain a higher idle so I can maintain a higher oil pressure more regularly, so that the back end of the motor receives this pressure. And I'm also thinking about getting a dash 4 line, you know, a braided steel line or whatnot, and joining both of the locations of oil pressure sensing, joining those two together via a line with a port for my other oil pressure sensors. And I have a feeling both numbers for the oil pressure here, and let me get back on the oil pressure here. What's this doing? Nope, that's the wrong one. And there. Yeah, look at that. I'm in gear, and that's as low as it goes. It's fluctuated a whole bunch. I mean, look at that. I mean, is there something wrong inside? But and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring it up to 1,000 RPM, because currently, let me make sure that you can see this. It's at 750 RPM, and that's what the oil pressure was doing on the back end of the motor. So we're gonna go up to 1,000. It'll get a little bit noisier, but smoother, if you know what I mean. Come on, there we go. Save. You notice the tone change a little bit, if you can hear it. And then we're going to go back to home, monitor, multi-gauge, and then that one. And now it's running more consistently at 25. And of course the dash still says like 62 or 3. So there's plenty of oil pressure. As if I, let me put it into park. Here, we're going to give it some RPM. I won't be able to tell you how much, because this is probably about 2,000, about 35. Earlier, I gassed it pretty hard, and it went up to 60. So, wide open throttle, I'm not concerned really. It's just interesting to see the differences in oil pressure from the front to the back. So, and then what was I think that was about it. I think that was all I was gonna show you. Yeah, and I'm gonna try a mail order tune through Prestige Motors back east. I think they're back east, and then finally get a closer tune on this thing, you know, so I can inevitably get it back on a chassis dyno and get some more runs for information purposes. I will expect more power, but you know, maybe 20 to 60 more, or 100, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. A lot of me rambling, so peace everybody. Take care. God bless you.